Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my application for PIP, which is Personal Independence Payments. This is kind of episode 2 of this kind of video diary of applying for this benefit, I suppose you'd call it. So I've had the form sent to me a couple of weeks ago. It's a 40-page form, no less than 40 pages. And I say 40 pages, there's 14 questions plus a bit at the back for additional information. And each question is about a different subject. So I'll kind of briefly go through what they're asking and what I've mentioned, just to kind of give you an overview of what the form is about. So the first bit is about detailing your health professionals. So I've just listed there my GP, my neurologist, who I don't see regularly, but I saw him after my weird eye vision loss thing, which happened after Amelie and after Genevieve and went on for months. And also my geneticist, who again I haven't seen since Amelie was a baby, but I don't really know how else to put it. I don't see a physio regularly. I don't really see anyone kind of like regularly. The next section is about my health condition or disability. So I've listed there the things I have. So obviously CMT, diagnosed approximately early 1989. I'm not exactly sure when. If you can hear noise in the background, it's the kids running around because it's summer holidays, so they're all off. I've put depression and anxiety because I've suffered with that both postnatally and just generally. My vision problems, which I just mentioned. And obviously I've put in there about circulation problems, which I've taken nifedipine for, and vocal cord paralysis, which obviously you can hear. They want to know about medication you take, and obviously I've put there isn't any medication I take for CMT. There isn't anything that treats it. I've put in there that I take painkillers and anti-inflammatories as and when I need them, and obviously nifedipine for circulation. And I've put that I take vitamin B6, B12 and magnesium to help with energy levels, immune system, mood and hormones. This is about preparing food. So it's asking, do you need to use an aid or appliance to prepare or cook a simple meal? The options are yes, no or sometimes. Do I need to? Well, no, because I can't use any. It's a bit of a silly question because I need an option which is I can't use any because there aren't any that I can use. So I've ticked no and then just put I can't next to it. And then it's got, do you need help from another person to prepare or cook a simple meal? And I put yes. And then it's detailing why I can't prepare food and why I can't make a meal. Like I've put I can't chop, cut, peel, spread, lift pans, I can't put things in the oven, I can't put things in the microwave or take them out, I can't make a sandwich. So it's just detailing all those little fine things, and hopefully they'll understand. So obviously my partner or my PA currently do all those things. The next one is about eating and drinking, which is similar to the previous question, but it's more about actually eating the food rather than preparing it. So do I need to use an aid or appliance? Yes, no or sometimes. I've put sometimes because although I don't use specific aids, I use certain cutlery which I know that I can use. So for instance, obviously our cutlery at home I can use because I bought it, so I know I can use it. If we go and stay with Tom's parents, their cutlery is quite heavy and quite, the handle is quite kind of round, and I find it quite difficult to hold and not drop. So they've got 1 or 2 forks in their drawer, which are a bit easier for me to hold, so I always try and use those if I can. Do I use a feeding tube? No. Do I need help from another person to eat? I've put yes. Also I can hold a fork or a spoon myself with my hands like this, although it gets quite achy in my shoulders. I need somebody to cut up my own food. I sometimes need somebody to help me scoop food, like yogurt or something, or hold the bowl or plate still. Sometimes with like a filled or a filled sandwich or a filled roll, I can't pick it up from the plate, so I need somebody to pick it up and put it in my hand. So I'll sort of hold my hand like that, and they'll place it onto my hand so I can like balance it like a magic trick. And if I move quickly, it falls off. So that's always fun. The next question is about managing treatments. So I've put sometimes about like, do I need to use an aid or appliance? I have got a pill box. I don't use it very often because I need somebody to put the pills in the thing for me. It's kind of a bit pointless. I may as well just get them to take it out of the packet and give it straight to me. And I can't have any like pill boxes like on the side ready for me to use because there's 3 young children in the house. I don't want them getting hold of any drugs or medicines. So I've put, yes, I do need somebody to help me, and obviously I've put there about needing somebody to get my tablets out for me. Washing and bathing, again, it's one of those things where it's like, do I need to use an aid or appliance to wash and bathe myself? I've put no, because I can't get myself onto a shower seat or a shower chair or like a bath chair. I'd have to have somebody lift me onto the chair and lift me off it again. And then when I'm on the chair, I can't wash properly anyway because I'm kind of balancing, like I'm trying to hold myself up and steady. So I find it most practical to crawl onto an open shower tray, and so I'm like sat on the floor basically. But then I still can't wash myself very easily. I find it quite tricky. I can't like shave my legs, I can't shave my armpits, I can't wash my hair, I can't scrub it properly, and like pick up all my hair because it's quite long. So I obviously need somebody else to help me wash, opening shampoo and shower gel bottles, turning the shower on and off. And showering is quite risky for me. I can quite easily slip and fall onto my back. So yeah, again, apologies for the background noise. You can probably hear my children playing in the background. So the next one is about going to the toilet. Do I need to use an aid or appliance to go to the toilet? I've put yes. So at home I don't have an adapted toilet because if I'm getting on from the floor with help, it's too high. If it's a raised toilet, I can't get on it. So I need somebody to help me when it's a lower level, like normal toilet. And I have a grab rail there to kind of lean on, has somebody helping me. If I'm out and about, I obviously use my wheelchair to go up to the toilet, and that's a raised toilet in a disabled accessible bathroom. So yes, I do need somebody to help me. And I've put, it says, are you incontinent? I'm not incontinent, but I have symptoms of irritable bowel / food intolerance. I can't really pinpoint it, but I think it's based on like wheat, refined flour. So that causes like stomach cramps, bowel pains, stomach pains. Sometimes I have sickness, so I need to get to the toilet quite quickly. So I need somebody to help me do this. I can't pull up or pull down my own trousers or do them up. And obviously I'm a girl, so I need help with like female hygiene products, sanitary towels and stuff. So hopefully that's enough detail for them. Next question is about dressing and undressing. Do I need to use an appliance? I've put no, because I can't. Do I need help from another person? Yes. In pretty much all aspects of dressing myself, I need help from another person. I cannot stand up at all, so... And buttons, zips, poppers, I can't do any of those. Communicating, do I need to use an appliance? I've put no. Do I need help from another person? I've put sometimes. I've put I can communicate myself, but because of my vocal cord paralysis, people quite often mishear me or don't hear me, and I need somebody else to be there to say, oh, she said this. Or to say like, can you come down to her level because you might be able to hear her. So that's quite frustrating. And if I strain my voice, it leads to like a dry voice, strain and pain. If I'm in a busy area, that makes it even more difficult for people to hear me. And if I strain my voice, it's even worse the next day. Reading, I've put no and no to using appliances and needing help. I can read fine myself. I do wear glasses generally day to day. I should be wearing them now. And I've put about experiencing the central vision loss after I had 2 of my children, and that could come back at any time. I don't know why it happened, so who knows when it would come back. Mixing with other people, I put do I need another person to help me? I put sometimes, because I do suffer with quite a lot of like social anxiety. I'm very self-conscious, and because of my vocal cord paralysis, that makes me quite self-conscious. And just having somebody with me, like my PA or my partner, or my mum, or even my children, like if I'm at a children's party and I'm like, I don't want to speak to anyone, just having like somebody with me, like my daughter, might kind of make me a bit more confident. I'm very aware of how people view me as differently, and they see me as differently, and they don't talk to me as if I wasn't disabled. So that makes a difference, I think, when mixing with other people. Making decisions about money, I don't need help budgeting or spending money. I can spend my own money, but I do need help physically. I can't handle coins or change or notes very easily. Even my card, I drop it on the floor quite a lot and have trouble putting it in the machine. Having contactless, which I can do with my phone or with my card, is easier, so I can do that, but I quite often am in a shop kind of trying to click the button on my phone to make it do contactless and it's not working, and I'm like, I can't use a cash point, I can't put the card in and take the card out again. I've had times when I was younger where I've had my card swallowed by the machine because I haven't got it out quick enough, and that's very annoying. You have to go and contact your bank to get your card back. Going out and about, this is about planning a route and like following directions. I put, do I need help? I put sometimes I can plan and follow a route myself, but I need somebody with me to keep me safe. Because I'm in a wheelchair, I'm one of those people who just attracts the weirdos to come up to me and chat to me and want information from me. Like, they suddenly want to know why I'm disabled and why I'm in a wheelchair, and if I've done the Paralympics, of course, because I'm in a wheelchair, so I must have done. That makes me feel quite vulnerable and quite unsafe, so it kind of stops the random strangers coming up to me if they can see that I've got somebody there who is probably there as a friend or family. Moving around, this is question 14. This is obviously the question that I'm going to need to put most information about, because it's about walking and moving. So this is quite funny to me. How far can you walk, taking into account any aids you use? So the options are less than 20 metres, between 20 and 50 metres, between 50 and 200 metres, 200 metres or more, or it varies. There's no option for I can't walk at all, I can't stand up or weight bear at all. So I've had to take less than 20 metres because what else do I take? And above that I've written not at all. Hopefully they will be able to make sense of that. Do you need to use an aid or appliance to walk? I put no, because I can't walk at all. I don't need to use an appliance to walk because I can't, nothing is going to help me walk. Do you need to use a wheelchair or similar device? Yes. So I put, I cannot walk at all, I cannot weight bear on my legs at all, I have no muscle left in my legs and my lower arms or hands. I use both a manual and a power wheelchair. I need both depending on where I'm going. I cannot transfer between wheelchairs without help. I can only self-propel on very smooth, flat surfaces when out for a short amount of time. When out of my wheelchair at night, I crawl from the bed to the bathroom, but need help to be lifted and manually handled back onto the bed or toilet or stair lift. My partner or my PA push my wheelchair when I can't. And when crawling, I often fall and sprain or bruise myself. So hopefully that's enough information. I've kept it quite, like, to the point and simple. All I need to know really is that I cannot walk. I need to use a wheelchair pretty much all the time. And that is pretty much it. The last bit is about additional information. Before I finish the video, I'm going to insert a little clip here of me filling in the form earlier today. So I'm currently on page 23 of 40. This section is about communicating. So I'm writing about my voice and my vocal cord paralysis and not being heard and needing somebody to speak up for me. So that's the section I'm on at the moment. I've kind of done most of the form in pencil in case I did it too messy, and now I'm going over it in pen, which is taking me hours. So yeah, it's aching my arms a lot doing this, and my knuckles and fingers. I've had this form about 2 weeks. It's taken me probably about a week in bursts of writing, because although I can write by holding a pen like this, it really puts strain on my shoulders. My neck gets really achy. If I look down now, it's like, oh, because I spent so long doing that, like this week. And for the additional information bit at the end, I just added on a few bits just to kind of strengthen my argument if it needs it. I put about why I experience low mood and like anxiety sometimes, both postnatally and just in general. I put my partner currently lifts me a lot, and sometimes that's the only way that we can do something. But he often and regularly suffers with back pain himself. So, and as we get older, we're not getting any younger, as we get older, that's only going to get worse, and he's going to be able to lift me less and less. So I know at some point I'm going to have a hoist in the house. I've never used a hoist, so I don't know how it's used or how easy it is. And then I've put, for all intents and purposes, my hands are paralysed, because they haven't really asked about, they've asked about moving around, which they're talking about physically walking or using a wheelchair to get around. And they haven't really asked about like how you can use your hands, because I find a lot of people assume that if you're in a wheelchair, you've probably suffered a spinal cord injury, which means you might be paralysed from the waist down or the chest down, which means you can probably use your hands and arms as normal. So you could get yourself a cup of tea, you could prepare a meal, you could do your own hair, you could get dressed kind of with help, but you can kind of, you know, do a lot of the things I can't do. I've kind of reiterated there that I'm not a typical wheelchair user. I'm not paralysed. I can feel, although my sensation is decreased in my legs because of the CMT. But I want them to think that yes, I am paralysed because I can't move my legs at all. I can't lift my legs. I can't move my toes. I can't move my ankles, anything. I can't weight bear. So I need them to know that in that respect, yes, I am paralysed. But as far as my hands and arms go, I'm not a typical spinal cord injury or spina bifida or something wheelchair user. So I've put, for all intents and purposes, my hands are paralysed, and I've put I'm not typical, blah blah blah. I've put that I'm a lot less independent than a typical wheelchair user. My CMT is progressive and it affects all four limbs, my diaphragm and my vocal cords. And that, I think, is it. So I've now got to find some things to photocopy to support this, so like my care plan, and yeah, and then send it off. So that's pretty much it. Sorry about this really long-winded thing. This is like going to be a really long video. I'll try and cut out a lot of the blurb and me shouting at the children whilst they're causing havoc in the background. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. The next instalment of this kind of PIP diary will be whatever I hear next. I don't know. I think they'll notify me and tell me whether I have to have a face-to-face interview, which is probably the most likely thing. So yeah, that'll be the next thing. So please give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and please share this with any other disabled people who might be going through this switch over to PIP or have switched over and could give me some advice. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.